Now, it has been a while since we spoke about anything related to Power Book 4, Force. There was a short teaser released during Season 4 of Raising Kanan, but since we were at the business end of that season, there wasn't much time to dive into the teaser or explore a few of the storylines for Season 3. As you know, I like to take my time, gather all the information, teaser scenes, quotes, and everything else, before creating breakdowns. And I think now is the perfect time. We're in the Power Off season where anything goes. I have previously completed Power Book 2, Ghost Breakdowns, OG Power Breakdowns, and What If storylines. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for topics, and we can definitely look into them over the next few months. With that being said, today's topic is all things Power Book 4, Force, Tommy finding Mireya and all the surrounding plot points that could influence Tommy, including what's happening in Chicago and the storyline involving Mireya and Miguel Garcia. As always, we'll round off with some general thoughts, predictions, and a few potential outcomes for Tommy and Mireya's relationship by the end of Season 3. However, for those who may have missed or forgotten, here are some general updates. Joseph Sikora made an announcement on social media confirming that Season 3 will return this fall. Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Joseph Sikora here, back in New York City, to tell you that the rumours are true and that Power Book 4, Force will be released this fall, he said. Date-wise, to keep it simple, especially for those watching from the UK, like myself, we're looking at the back end of September going into December. If I had to make a logical guess about the release date, I don't think they'd run Force during the December holiday period. Although it would be cool if they did, Christmas really would be cancelled. Hello, what's up? We are postponing Christmas, shut it all down, one of Tommy Egan's signature lines. But realistically, I don't see them running Power over Christmas and New Year, which is generally family time. Early October seems more likely, which could mean the show runs until around early to mid-December, just before the holidays. After that, they'll probably drop all the news about what's coming next in the Power universe. I do think they're waiting to wrap up Season 3 before revealing what's next, and I actually have a separate video planned on that for the coming weeks. It might tie into this weekend's breakdown, or maybe next week. At least the good news is we're not waiting until next year. Force has had a rough time over the past couple of years. Season 1 didn't really feel like a Tommy show. You know my thoughts on the whole Dahlia storyline. After that, Gary Lennon was hired as showrunner, and he completely changed the plan for Season 2. He wanted to show Chicago's culture and go back to where Power and Tommy Egan came from. But then the writers' strike hit, and the cast couldn't do interviews or promote the show they worked so hard on. This time around, I think the wait will be worth it. Enough housekeeping. You know how much I hate waffling. I don't do it often, but sometimes it just has to be done. With that out of the way, let's move on to Tommy and Mireya's story. We are aware that Tommy's love life has been a bumpy ride in the Power universe. There was Holly, he loved redheads. In previous breakdowns where I've explored Tommy's backstory, I mentioned how he gravitated toward people who showed him love. Holly was also a lot like him. She didn't have much family, they had similar upbringings, and both went through hardships. They were very much alike. Later came Lakeisha. He was just about to propose when one of the most heartbreaking moments in Power happened. You had to be there when that episode dropped. Lakeisha was unique. Because he was loyal to Ghost, he not only killed Holly, but he also killed his unborn child. With Lakeisha and her son, Cash, whom Tommy was still looking out for in Ghost Season 1, he saw another chance to build the family he's always wanted. Back in Power, Tommy never really had a family of his own until he connected with JP and D-Mac in Chicago. That desire for family has always been there. He made a family with the Saint, Patrick's. He wanted to start a life with Lakeisha, and yet he always loses. It's a vampiric existence. Everyone he loves, he outlives. It feels lonely. Fast forward to Force. In Season 1, Tommy had a brief affair with Gloria, but Mireya Garcia really caught his attention in Season 2. She was off limits. Diamond warned him straight away. Stay away from Mireya, who's the sister of their connect, Miguel Garcia. However, Tommy breaks no rules, especially when it comes to love. We saw him and Mireya spending time together. He taught her to drive. They got closer, even walked through the park. I believe they gave clues about a possible pregnancy plot. When I said that back then, some people thought I was crazy, but power has patterns that can't be ignored. There was the hallucination of Holly with a baby bump, Tommy reaching for her stomach, what could have been. That guilt and regret still lingers. It was one of my favourite scenes from Season 2 because it showed Tommy's inner psyche. It's easy to forget how much of a loving character Tommy is because of how ruthless he can be. Tommy, on the other hand, would give up everything for love, as Joseph Sikora himself said. Tommy has also been without his family, including JP, D-Mac, and Kate, in addition to Mireya. With Mireya, it's complicated. She is the sister of Miguel. That was a problem throughout Season 2. Tommy began his career working for Miguel. Miguel is protective of his sister, as any brother would be. Meanwhile, in the background, Shanti and Jennard were scheming. They held on to an incriminating image and sent it to Miguel at just the right moment to mess things up for Tommy and the CBI. Miguel then took Mireya and made it clear Tommy would never see her again. But in the teaser released recently, we see Tommy talking to Mireya. He says he's got big news. I think we all knew Tommy would find his way back to Mireya eventually. They just showed it in the teaser, which surprised me. But here we are. We know he'll find her. It just won't be simple. Around their relationship are all these moving chess pieces. There's the war with Miguel Garcia, that's the big one. Then there's the CBI power struggle, hinted at all throughout Season 2. Tommy was making big decisions without Diamond. Conflict is going to arise at the beginning of Season 3 when Tommy is getting ready to set everything on fire in order to locate Mireya. Diamond won't want Mireya interfering with business. In the background, there's Shanti and Jennard, slithering around like snakes, manipulating the situation. They will be on the lookout for Tommy if he lets down his guard. That's a topic we'll definitely come back to in future breakdowns. There's also family drama, always is with Tommy. He'll be dealing with JP, D-Mac and Kate Egan. D-Mac is making mistakes, as teenagers do. Just look at Tariq in Power and Ghost, or the young Kanan. D-Mac, Kanan and Tariq could be grouped together. And Kate, she's warned Tommy about all his love interests before, but she's also been right about a lot. Holly, Lakeisha, Tony Teresi. That dynamic will always be present. Let's not forget law enforcement. The best way to describe Stacey Marks is obsessed. It's like Blanca Rodriguez or Cooper Sacks in the past. Stacey got a win at the end of Season 2, catching Claudia and the Serbian network. However, look at how she responded. She didn't care. Her focus is Tommy Egan, and I think that obsession will backfire in Season 3. There's only going to be one winner here. Therefore, Tommy's personal life and the streets are full of moving parts. We have to keep them in mind. Now, what are my general thoughts and predictions for Tommy and Mireya's relationship at the end of Force? Especially given that we are aware that this is the last season of Force. It's not the end of Tommy's journey, but it is the end of this chapter. It's important to keep that in mind. I don't think we'll see a full chessboard wipe like what's coming in Raising Kanan Season 5, which will transition into a new story and era. Force might do that too, but I don't think it will end in an all-out bloodbath. Tommy's story continues beyond Force, but that's a discussion for another breakdown. Totally, but specifically with regard to the breakup of Tommy and Mireya's relationship, there are only a few options. Either it's going to be a tragic ending, just like Tommy's previous love interests. Mireya joins Holly, Lakeisha and Gloria in Power Heaven. Or Tommy, as we all know he will, finds Mireya, reunites with her, kills Miguel Garcia, but realizes that their relationship can't last because of who he is and how he's tied to the game in some way. Maybe he leaves Mireya in a safe place, sets her up before continuing on his journey, maybe with Tariq, though that's a topic for a different day. Maybe he simply leaves Mireya, knowing that she's safe. The long shot, a happy conclusion, is the final option. And I mean a very long shot because in the world of power, a happy ending is almost unheard of. I can't remember the last time we truly saw one. When Yasmin and Tasha were brought back together at the conclusion of Ghost Season 2, Kyle Kemp stated that there was a happy ending. I somewhat agree but also disagree. It was somewhat a happy ending toward the end of Season 2, but in the grand scheme of things, was it really? Take a look at how Tasha ended up alone in a cabin, forced to change her name, and forced to leave the family home. Yasmin now has to go by a different name and backstory too. She went from living in a penthouse suite in Tribeca, going on shopping trips with Lakeisha, spending days at the spa, to struggling to make ends meet while in witness protection. So, was it really a happy ending? I just don't think they exist in the world of power. For Mireya and Tommy to have a happy ending, it honestly feels like a long shot. However, I do think a lot depends on what happens with this baby storyline, which I believe will come into play in Season 3. We can't ignore the signs and the recurring patterns we've seen in Power. Whether Mireya is actually pregnant will likely play a significant role. How will the storyline play out? Will it be similar to Diana and Rack? I sincerely hope not, but hopefully not like Holly. However, I do believe it would alter Tommy's perspective, or at the very least provide him with something serious to consider. Tommy values family and love, as I mentioned earlier. I wonder if he had a second chance at raising his own family with Mireya, how would that affect his ambition to be the biggest and baddest drug dealer? It's definitely something to watch for, and I believe it will come back around at some point in Season 3. Ultimately, these possible outcomes all hinge on whether Mireya is pregnant or not. So again, does Mireya join Holly, Lakeisha and Gloria? Is it a bittersweet ending where Mireya survives but Tommy has to leave her behind? Or do we dare to hope for a happy ending? Personally, I believe that Mireya will survive, Tommy will care for her, and if she is pregnant, that would be wonderful. Perhaps there will be a miniature Tommy Egan roaming the power world in 20 years. Imagine that, power never ends. At least with regard to Mireya and Tommy, that is the current situation with Force. There will undoubtedly be more time to investigate other plot points and storylines in the coming weeks. Having said that, you own the floor. Drop your thoughts below in the comments section and let me know how you think it'll end for Tommy and Mireya. Will it be a tragic ending, a bittersweet one, where Tommy takes down Miguel Garcia but the relationship can't survive? Or can you see a rare happy ending in the Power universe? Drop your thoughts below. As always, I appreciate your attention and hope to see you again next time.